countdown. 3. Oh, there it is.
And I said, yeah, countdown. Seriously, when was the last time you saw a countdown in Hangouts? Come on. Jeez, man. You know Google's like, whatever. You better be ready when we say so. Hey, folks. What's going on? Aunt Pruitt here. Another Thursday evening. I think it's April the 16th. And it's a little after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the time we get together with the smartphone photographers community and have a little discussion that we like to call point and shoot. Hope y'all doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. Joined tonight by some moderators. We invite our community members each and every week to come in and hang out, and they can pop in if they want, if they're able to. Or they can just watch us live. Hopefully that's what's going on in the next couple of minutes. Again, as I said, we get together each week as a community, but we discuss different tips and tricks to make you a better smartphone photographer. Because believe it or not, your smartphone camera has pretty good capabilities to take some really nice photographs. You don't have to go out and spend $500, $800, $1,000, $3,000, plus another $300-$400 for a lens to take a good shot. Just pull out the camera in your pocket, also known as your smartphone, and put it to work. All right, let me introduce these guys that's in here tonight. We'll start with my man down in Stormy, Texas. My man, Mr. Michael King. What's happening?
Not much. Come on. I've just lost my screen.
That's okay. On my camera, you look just fine, sporting your Houston Astros shirt. So you're good to go. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, just saying, we're doing pretty good, all things considering.
Excellent. Excellent. Appreciate you
just
joining in.
Just a little wet, a little windy.
Lord have mercy. Yep. As I said last week, and as I said the week before, I don't think I'll be relocating to Houston, Texas.
Just look at the sign that says. Just look at the sign that says Jersey Village, and look what's coming.
I mean, you can look at any little quadrant. Jeez, not cool, man. Not cool.
Today's the mild day.
Well, you hang in there. I'm going to stay over here in the southeast and just be somewhat comfortable. How about that? Thank you for joining us, brother. Next up, my man, long time no see, Mr. Robert M. Knight. What's happening?
I'm back. At least for the night. Just lots of stuff going on. Lots and lots of stuff. I have not been overly active in the community. I've not been taking a lot of shots. I did participate in this week's challenge.
Yep.
I've just got a lot going on. Got twins on the way. I got the flu a couple weeks back. Still recovering. Now I got steroids. Yeah.
Dude.
Trying to get rid of this cough and work and everything. So I've just been really busy. We're actually experiencing some spring finally. Wyoming can keep that snow to themselves.
Oh my God.
You keep that storm down there too, Michael. I don't need that.
Seriously? There is snow in your areas over there?
Yeah, it's snowing in Wyoming. Yeah, it snowed there. I don't know. The upper Midwest is... I think the ground should be made of the moon because it gets depressing sometimes. But otherwise, I'm doing fairly well.
Good. Appreciate you joining us as always, brother. All right, we're as I type on this here computer screen, just paid the man no attention behind that green curtain, you know. As I said, we get together each week and discuss different tips and tricks. But we also have a weekly photography challenge that is proposed by one of the community members. And what we do is we get all of the shots together that people submit, and we vote on them simply by doing the +1. You know, easy system, right? This week, the theme was numerical measurements, I believe. Let me pull it up here on my screen for you guys. All right, screen share. Numerical measurements. It says we use measurements in all aspects of our life. We measure time, years, hours, minutes, and seconds. When you travel, distance is measured, and so on and so on. And so for your shots this week, shoot anything related to numerical measurements. I thought this is a very interesting little topic here because not every day you really think about taking a shot of, standard things to measure things, I don't anyway. I mean, I use them all the time. I use my clocks all the time. I use the thermometers and thermostats and so forth. Use that stuff all the time. But
measuring cups.
Never do I even think about, I want to take a photo of that. So this is an interesting challenge for Miss Nicole H. We appreciate her proposing that one and showing us how it's done. So now I'm going to share my screen. We'll pull up some of these here photos real quick. Screen share. We want that one. And go. All right, you guys see the screen okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a few of them before we get to the top vote earner. First off, we got a late entry, and somebody's got an echo. I think it's you, Robert. We're going to go to my man, Terry Sutlick. Terry hasn't been able to submit any shots for a little while. He's been a little busy and so forth, which is all good. But this particular shot, man, I love the nerd factor and the tech geek factor that he's got up in here. For those of you that don't know, this is a regular Cat 5. I'm assuming that's a Cat 5 cable.
Or 6.
And
6.
It's a 6.
And it's a 6. Okay.
6.
Cat 6 cable used for wiring up your office networks, home networks, and so forth. And what I like about it is my brain specifically went to computers. It went straight to 1001 because that's how computers talk. We just don't know that. Most of us just don't know that, I should say. Pretty cool shot there. It doesn't look like he did any touch up or anything on it, but again, I appreciate him just sort of thinking outside the box, if you will, because with the networks, you do have to measure different performance factors, and how your network performs depends on what you're going to have for your internet browsing and communication between other computers on the network and so on. But yeah, he struck a nerve with me there, being a computer guy. All right, so let's jump into my man Mike Sweeney, who couldn't be in here tonight, at least not right now anyway. He normally uses an iPhone 5. Nope, this is from his 4S. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
He uses anything. He uses any one of his iPhones.
Right. Now this one, it looks like he took a shot of a lens for maybe, I guess, for his DSLR, because I think he's got a Nikon.
Yeah, that's a Nikon lens.
Nikon D700. I think that's what he has.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's break this shot down. You got 7 votes. I voted for it because I know Mike Sweeney's personality, and this is totally him. If the man is not dealing with network configurations and so forth and running servers, he's got a camera in his hand. It's either his iPhone camera or his Nikon camera, and he's pretty damn passionate about it. So this here just said Mike Sweeney to me. Anything I would have done differently? I thought about the crop, but then again, there's really no other way this could come out right if you crop it. So I think he got that. I think he nailed that because everything sort of seems pretty centered if you were to, take a measure from the different circumference areas.
Mm-hmm.
Here and here. Contrast. I'd like to see him push it a little more, but knowing him, he probably pushed it to the max before he started losing some of the details, like you could see down in the different grooves of the lens attachment. But I dig it, man. Mr. King, what are your thoughts on this shot?
Well, if it was a Canon lens, I've been happier.
Of course. Jeez,
No, but I'm
man.
just saying, it's great. And I like the graininess he put in there. I don't know if he put it in there or it's just because of the light, it just automatically went in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that, and I like just seeing all the different measurements for all the I believe those of the f-stops.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty nice.
one thing to you have a little more settings on the Nikon than you do on Canon.
Hmm. All right, Mr. Knight, your thoughts?
See, I disagree with Michael King on the grain. I actually don't like the grain.
Really?
What I wanted from this when I looked at it originally, this is my first thought. I was like, oh, that's some nice cold steel measuring something.
Hmm.
So I wanted that nice sheen of
Of steel.
that gleam coming off of it,
Yeah.
and I didn't get that. So it's kind of like, oh well, I know it's a lens.
Yeah.
Man, if that was metal and I had some little bit of light reflection, just
Mhm.
a little bit, just showing me a little bit of sparkle, something, where I'm like, yeah, that's some nice metal. Then
Yeah.
I would have liked it more. But I understand, lenses aren't necessarily metal, so. But it just for me personally, the photo didn't do that much for me.
Let me play devil's advocate here. This thing, you said you like for it to have a little more shine and whatnot, but what about just, a photographer being a photographer? They're going to put wear and tear on this thing. They're going to have some little grimy and grunge from their fingertips gripping this thing, going down into those little grooves like that. Agree or disagree?
I can agree with that, and what I would say then is take away the framing of that circle,
Mm-hmm.
and where that groove, where that grime is,
Mm-hmm.
have that run from corner to corner.
There you go. Yep, I can dig that. Try that out. I just wonder, how much wider can this go from if he didn't have this tunnel vision here,
Well, probably using that is that micro vision or micro lens of his,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I think he said it. You could bring it in a little bit, but I think he just tried to make it look like tunnel vision.
Yeah, I think that was on purpose, definitely. All right, so let me find another shot here to share. That was from Sweeney. And let's pick on somebody else that's in here tonight. I gotta tell you, this was my favorite shot. Another one because I know who this photographer is. This is Robert Knight's photo, and I believe he has a note. What do you use, Mr. Knight? No, you got a OnePlus. You got a OnePlus One now. That's right. And if you guys don't follow him on social media, look him up, Robert M. Knight. You will know that this man loves his automobiles. That's it.
Especially Mustangs.
Especially that Mustang. And I saw this and I immediately thought of him and his passion behind it. And I said, you know what, this guy, he can't get away from his car, But the fact that you zoomed in on this thing to look at measurements that 98% of the people in this world do not know, which is their tire measurements,
right?
And point that out. Those are very important numbers.
Especially the small print ones.
Yeah, nobody knows those numbers until you have to know those numbers. I like the idea of you pointing that out. My critique, other than it being my favorite shot, try to get more black, because I'm looking at it on this screen here. It seems like it could get a little darker, but then again, that might not be possible because tires aren't necessarily black in general, unless you really, really scrub them and put some treatment on them and whatnot. But a lot of times tires are sort of damn near charcoal.
Kind of charcoal gray.
So
Mm-hmm.
but
not true bright.
I'll explain why it looks like that after Michael King's critique.
But that's the one thing that I would like to have. But at the same time, I like the fact that it's well lit and it's got the white and it's very, very clear on the detail, my man. It's a little blurred up there, but this is your focal point. So I don't care that this is blurred over here. This is the focal point because of what we're talking about in the subject matter, measuring. So kudos, brother, kudos. And this is with the
Thank you.
1+1, and you use light zone with the WoW preset in there. Is that what it is? Their WoW preset?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, light zone, folks, if you don't know, that's another, it's free, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's a free photo editor out there, very comparable to the likes of Lightroom. Check that out. All right, Mr. King, what are your thoughts?
I like it. And I like the way after he's got it all washed, sudsed up and everything, so you can see everything. I really like that.
Anything you'd have done different with it?
I would use an iPhone. That's it.
So other than your haterade, there's nothing else you'd have done with it?
No, I like it. It's done perfectly.
All right. Excellent. I don't know if there's any other way you could have shot it, bro. I really
There
don't.
isn't.
Now, I'm going to be my own Mike Sweeney.
There you go. There you go. So let me hear your thoughts on it.
In posting this, after posting it, I thought about it, and I should have done it, but I didn't. If you look in the upper right corner,
Yeah?
that's the inner fender well.
Oh, okay.
You can see like little gleams there.
Yep.
If I wasn't being lazy, I could have taken this into the newest edition of Snapseed
Yep.
and darkened that section, just that section alone, so that it would have been black.
Hold on. We're going to get you one more critic in here.
Now that he mentions it, until then, I never saw those.
I never saw it, dude. I never saw it.
He mentioned it.
So you shouldn't have said a thing. So now I'm going to take my vote away. Jeez.
And the reason the tire actually looks that way, that's not regular suds on there.
Okay. What
That's
you
you can buy the McGuire's Magic Tire, whatever they call the stuff.
Not a sponsor, but yeah.
Everything. And this isn't on the Mustang.
Okay.
This is actually on the Durango.
Okay, well, 265, I would hope so. Is that what that says, 265?
Well, the Mustang is fairly close and may end up being wider than that on the rear.
Jeez, really? Dude, you got it bad, man.
What
But,
did I come into?
Good grief.
What did I come into?
Portis, you just walked in on a man.
Suburban is 275.
Oh, gosh.
My goodness.
Big tires. How you doing, Mr. Portis?
We took a desk out of the office, so we are in major flux right now.
Whoops.
Sarah said, you know what? I can't work with you. so she took her desk out of the office, and this mic stand don't want to stay up straight.
It sounds good, though, so don't mess with it. Leave it alone.
I know, huh? I fiddled with it for about 3 or 4 days, so I ain't gonna touch it.
Yeah, leave that thing alone. This is Michael Portis out in California. Welcome to this week's Hangout on Air, as usual. Right now, we're looking at Mr. Robert Knight's shot, as we were themed on measurements, numerical measurements, and as we all know, Mr. Knight loves his vehicles, and of course, he had to work it into this week's challenge some kind of way. So,
the reason that tire isn't black, at least showing black, is because that's dirt and grime in the suds.
Of course.
So it actually went kind of brown because of all the oils.
Right.
So that's why you don't get a deep black. But as you mentioned, once I got that cleaned off and slapped some well, I don't use Armor All. I'm not going to tell you what I do use.
No.
That's trade secret right there. Trade secret.
Trade secrets.
Black magic.
Exactly. We say that in our house too. It means something totally different. I looked at this photo, and at first I didn't get increments, and then I read it, and then I was like, okay, P265. I don't know what that means. I'm not a car person, but I know it means something.
It's your tire sizes.
I know that. I know that much. I know it's tire, and then how much air you're supposed to put in the tire. Is that right?
No, that's in the smaller print below.
That's in the lower part down there.
Yeah, that's in the smaller print.
I take my car to, what are those guys? I take it to Oil Can Henry's to change the oil, and I take it to Les Schwab to do my tires. That's it. How do you change a tire? Les Schwab. That's the answer.
Oh, okay, nice. Not a sponsor.
Not sponsor, exactly. Those two companies take it. But and then I looked at the lines. I was like, what really struck me on this photo is the hash marks. And to me, anytime I see hash marks, that I'm counting something. So that's where increments came in for me on this one.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, you are a weird thinker, but okay.
Hash marks, buddy. I'm counting something. I was like 1, 2, 3. But off camera, I'll tell you why. Off camera. I'll tell you.
Oh man, I feel like I just had one of those Rain Man moments.
I count stuff. We'll just say it like that. I count things.
That's interesting. All right. Is there anything you would have done differently with it, Portis?
No. I like the crop is nice. Not showing getting that close into the tire well, obviously, and not showing the whatever's going on underneath it.
Oh, he showed it. We just didn't notice it.
Well, I could see just a little bit. It's not. It doesn't distract from the photo.
Of course.
Using the round of the tire to kind of make that separation I really like that. It kind of cuts it and makes you look at the center of that tire. I like this one. I like this one.
Damn near implied motion too, to me.
Yeah, exactly. It with that cut there, it makes it move forward. The tire's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So, good job.
Good stuff, dude. All right, so let's move on to another shot here. Close that.
Holy.
Pop up there.
It's howling outside.
There's 2 more I want to look at. I'll look at this one from Nicole before we look at the winner. Nicole, hey, she's the one who won this challenge last week and proposed this particular challenge. And I don't know what you guys know about Nicole, but she works in this big, I guess it's a big mill where there's a lot of heavy equipment, big Caterpillar vehicles and earth movers. I mean, she
works in a quarry.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a pretty freaking dirty and cool job, so she's always seeing some interesting gears and gadgetries and different dials and measurements and whatnot. But what always strikes me about her shots, man, is the lighting. It's always the lighting on her shots. This shot here, shot with the Galaxy S5, edited in Photoshop Express, with all of her different touch-up steps here. Very nice stuff. But what I dig about this is just how it's well freaking lit. This thing back here in the background, it's not distracting. It is a part of it. It is, tastefully blurred. She's got just enough detail on this object here, even down to where you can see just the little imperfections on the crystal of this thing, man. Look at the filth and wear and tear that this thing has gone through. She's really, really, really good at doing her macro photography as well as lighting this macro photography. If you remember, last week was our chiaroscuro event, which focused on going from dark to light to dark, and she nailed it. And this time she didn't have to do chiaroscuro, but she still nailed it with her lighting. Well, freaking done.
I thought that was a Harry Potter thing. To be completely, I said, "What? Am I reading Harry Potter?" That's what I said. I looked at that challenge last week and said, "Nope, nope, I'm good."
Such a nerd.
I have to really give her props for clarity.
Yes.
Picture is crisp.
Yes, man. Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead and share your thoughts, Robert.
Very crisp. For the contest, it didn't move me like the one I did vote for.
Mm-hmm.
But the clarity, the crispness of it, that's stunning to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked the crop to be a little bit more balanced. As you can see, on one side, it's a little bit closer to the edge of the roundness of the gauge than the other side.
Okay. Yeah,
on left and right. So I would
gap.
have liked a
Yeah.
little bit more breathing room on the left side.
Okay.
And the one thing I'm looking for, which if you guys find it, please let me know, her signature, because she says she watermarked it, and I'm looking for her watermark, and I don't see it. And to me, that's great because a lot of times people watermark photos, and their watermarks take away from the photo.
I agree. There's a way of doing watermarks from an artistic standpoint
Her watermark
versus.
is inside the gray line in the lower left hand. It's in the gray bar. That gray bar in the lower left hand corner. You got to zoom in to see it, but that's where it is.
Right
Wow,
there.
She
nice,
is good.
very nice.
Let's see here.
Yep, there it is.
Wow, look at that.
That has got to be the best placed watermark I have ever seen.
Well, I'll be damned.
She
The
is.
cold.
She's hit a grand slam.
Dang, what is that? What is it? Is it cryptology with photographs? What's that? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Where you hide messages inside of photos.
Yeah,
Seems like she would be really good at that.
wow.
You must have been a spy in another life.
Yeah, so now I got to go back and look at her other shots. But no, what I was saying was I've seen watermarks done. Some are like this where they're very clever, and some are sort of classy. But then there's other use cases where you sort of have to be blatant because you don't want it stolen. Because people can very easily just right-click on an image on the web and say save as, and boom, they just took your shot. And
Well, don't make the mistake that a watermark protects you either.
well, no, I get that, but if you look at something, say, not a sponsor, Diverge.com, when they have leaks, or even EvLeaks, when they have leaks of new hardware like phones and whatnot, they have those pictures posted, but they have in big letters their logo or symbol on it,
Right.
to let you know, hey, we were the first ones to get this. You're not going to take credit for being the first one to leak this new iPhone or what have you. You know what I mean? So so there is a purpose for it to a certain degree, but no, it's not going to 100% protect you or anything like that. But there is some type of bragging rights behind it too. Me, I like to use my watermark as more like a signature because I used to be someone that would draw a lot. I may not be able to take photos, but you give me a pencil and a sketch pad, and I can put some work in. And so whenever I got done with my work, I would always sign it, and I'd like to do that with my photos a little more often, but I haven't done it as much recently. But anyway, Porters, your thoughts?
Let me go back to that photo. Actually, I went away from it.
You went ADD on me. Thanks.
No. No, there was my family's at Subway. They were asking what I want.
Of course.
Distractions. Like they don't know I'm busy. Okay, so this photo, I agree with the clarity. What I like about this photo is the grunge in it. It's grungy but not noisy, which is kind of it's a fine line for me.
Uh-huh.
Having the detail of the front dial be so intact and crisp, but still retain that it looks like clearly this is not someplace clean.
Exactly.
Or pleasant to be in. Probably it probably smells bad, to be completely honest.
Oh my God!
It's not a hog barn, it's a rock quarry.
Jeez.
I don't know. Sulfur sting.
Rocks that smell in California?
Sulfur sting. Just saying. But on this dial, I want to know what it's for. This shot made me zoom in, read the numbers. Why is the dial go to 250, but I only see plus or minus 50 on it? What does that mean? What is this for?
Mm-hmm.
It makes you ask those questions, and I think at the end of the day, that's what makes a good photo. It doesn't necessarily. The crop is amazing too, just for the record. But what does it do to you? What does it make you feel? And this one makes me feel I want to know. I want to know more about this. And
I figured out what it is. This is a strain gauge.
straight.
Strain
At
gauge.
250 feet is the max range that it can calculate at.
250 feet is the maximum range it can.
That you can attach it to something in 250 feet pulling for it to get an accurate measurement.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, like something like on their big drag line that they got.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that's for. It's probably in the cab of the drag line.
That'll work.
Wah, 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 wah. That's what I just heard just now, but sure.
But look, if a photo can make us have that kind of discussion, it's a great photo. I think at the end of the day, that's what it means.
Yes, definitely.
If we want to pick apart it and figure out what this does, it's a great photo. And Nicole, you consistently give us shots week on a week, and that make us go, what is she doing? Where is she at?
Doing this
what
week?
exactly is this? You sound like a really I don't want to go to a Stinky Rock Quarry, but I might go.
How do you know it's not stinky?
I don't. I've been around sulfur quarries, and sulfur quarries stink.
Well, this one is. I think this one. I think they do granite and stuff like that there.
Yeah.
That just sounds expensive to me because there are countertops and an island that a certain wants to build.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this. This sounds expensive. I'm good.
Bless your heart. King, let me hear your thoughts.
Are you sure? No, I like this. Again, I like everything. Everybody's agreed. I like the grunge on it. It's not. You can tell it's something that's always in use. In fact, it's being used right now, and it's just the only complaint is like the same thing. I think Porter said that Robert. That it was just a little off center. If they would have had it cropped on both sides, just the same amount. But I still think it's a great picture.
Nice. All right, Nicole, again, well freaking done. Let's take a look at this week's winning photo from someone where their name is a little difficult for me to pronounce. I've tried this before on previous Hangouts. Okay, so let me take a deep breath. Maurice Zadwatsky. Maurice?
Yeah, I think that's right. That sounds right.
Zadwatsky.
Zadwatsky.
All right. Well, my man MZ, you took a hell of a shot, in my opinion.
So did the watch.
Good point, sir. Good point, sir. You know, and with this challenge, it is very easy to just take photographs of measuring sticks, like a ruler or yardstick or anything like that. It's very easy to take images of clocks and watches, you know, timepieces. What I like about this one is he gave this a little bit of character. Now, I don't know if he smashed this thing before the shot, or you know, or this was something from a while back and it's been destroyed and just kept it. You know. But I like the idea that he's got going on in here. It's a little grainy, which I don't mind. But if you look at this thing in a certain way, I could see it a little better when I had the screen smaller. Hold on, let me try this now. Let me see here. Okay, when I looked at it in a smaller aspect like this here, for some reason I thought I saw like a grumpy cat face on this watch. So let me explain to you, because
I can see up around the 10.
There's an eye right there. There's the white between the cat's eye. His other eye would be right here. Here's the cat's nose. Here's the cat's little bottom lip. That was the first thing I saw.
Wow.
Now, did you guys see that?
A little too much, brother.
You know what? I ain't even gonna worry about y'all. That's all right. I know what I saw. It's there.
I kind of see it.
I mean,
Kind of.
you gotta think though. I'm a Clemson Tiger guy, so I see cat faces. I guess I don't know,
Wow.
but yeah, that right here, this is a cat's eye. Like this is the whites of its eye, and this is its pupil, and then the middle, the in between is two eyeballs. It's usually like a white stripe going down to their nose, right, or something. This other eye. This is the nose. The lip would be here, and the bottom lip would be right there, the fuzzy bottom lip of a cat. But
Wow. Woo.
brother, I broke it down. No, I'm kidding.
I think
Oh my goodness.
I think Ant is broken down.
Dumb. You spend too much time in the gym, homie.
No.
No, Mike, it's not that. He's had one too many.
He's had one.
I need a scotch now. Anyway,
Them
get y'all.
12-ounce curls, though.
This shot here is still pretty daggum cool. Oh shoot, where did it go? I didn't mean to hit that. Go back. Like I said, I like the blur and grain on it. I think it gives it some character, and to go along with this face, the crystal being shattered like that. Nicely done. It's not at a perfect angle. It's not at noon and 6 and 9 and 3. I get it. I dig it. What did he use to take this?
Samsung Galaxy S3.
S3?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let me let you guys jump into it. Mr. King, let's start with you.
I like it. I just make like you trying to think of a story like what the hell happened to him?
Mm-hmm.
Did he get in a fight with something, or did he said oops, it fell off, his strap broke, did it fall off and hit the face and shatter? And what kind of watch is it? But I just like the way it was done, and you're right, you can take a picture of a clock or a watch, but this, wow.
If that thing had an issue telling time previously, now it really has an issue telling time.
Right.
I think this been confirmed.
Oh yeah. It looks like what happened to one of the new Apple Watches if someone hit it.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Portis?
I don't like this photo.
Of course not, because it's too grainy.
No, it's not that. It took me until you came up with your cockamamie cat theory. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on here. I didn't get that this was a shatter. I knew it was a clock, but I didn't get the shattered point thing until really, really delving into it. And how do I explain it? If he had pulled back a little bit and gave me more of an overview of it, told more of the story behind it, I think I would like it more. But as is, I don't like it. Now, let me preface this with, I dropped and cracked my first iPhone screen yesterday. So any sort of cracked screen is not, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, you're pretty sensitive right now, bro.
I'm not feeling it. I have a new phone in my hand because I'm not feeling, and off camera, I will tell you how much I love Apple. I will say that Apple is amazing. I'm not happy with my carrier right now.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Not happy with them. And woo, I'm just saying. But now that you explain that it's a cracked screen, I get it more. I get kind of the fractured time, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like it. I think it's too close of a shot. I would have liked to see it backed away, and of course, get rid of some of the grain, please. Some of the grain. If you got rid of some of the grain, then you can see the definition in the cracks, and I think the coolness is in the cracks.
I'm going to disagree with you. I see where you're coming from, but let me play devil's advocate. Zooming out on that thing makes it a regular watch that's cracked.
Not all the way zoom out. I'm not saying. Just give me a little bit more of the circumference of the watch, or let me see. You see how in the upper right hand corner it's so blurred you can't see the numbers at all up there. Yeah. Just sharpen that up again so I can see the shatter. more. I want to see a crisp shatter.
You know, if anything, no, I can't touch it. I mean, I may have tried to do like something in Photoshop and tried to blur it a little more there to where it's a little less noisy, but I think that sort of makes the shot, you know.
Or leave the top half blurry, but make the bottom
A little more
cracks
crisp.
going towards the 8 and the 6. Give me some crispness in those cracks.
That I can agree to.
One or the other.
Yeah. Mr. Knight.
What you mentioned on my shot is what made me vote for this shot. Implied motion.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked at this shot, my first thought was, okay, this is moving. Something happened while this is moving.
Right.
And I like the color. It kind of harkens back. It made me kind of think of a James Bond movie in kind of a way.
Mm-hmm.
The graininess does work well for me. I like the angle. I like how that splinters out from that third line grid point of view. It's kind of right on the crosshair and splinters out from there, so the splinter carries your eye out to the rest of the watch.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The only thing I would have changed is maybe, and this would mean taking a couple different shots to kind of see what you get, is carry a little bit more of the bottom so you don't slice that 6.
Okay.
And you can get a little bit more of that bottom rim. Because I see this is a deep face watch. This isn't one of those laid completely flat. This watch actually has some depth in the face of it. So that's what leads it to, if you look at it, it looks like almost you're looking like a Russian roulette wheel.
Yep.
If you look around the left edge there.
Got depth.
Because the numbers, on some watches, the chronograph numbers, the seconds.
Yep.
If you look at that, it's not flat. It's actually laid inward.
Yep.
Yeah.
So overall, I voted for it because I really like them. It's a still photo, but it captures the motion of what I thought was the impact very well.
Yep.
And that's why I voted for it. I enjoyed. I like the grain, the blowout kind of top, because it looks like it's kind of streaking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be ultra sharp up there, but if you had just given me just a little bit more of that bottom rim, I think that might have been a little bit better. But you'd have to take multiple shots and kind of see where you come out from. But overall, I think this was the best shot of the week.
Yep. And the votes say so as well. So.
Yeah, I posted first and I still got drugged after. I was like, I'm gonna win this. So I was like, you got 11? Really?
And the thing is, Robert, I've been wanting to see if your theory would hold up, and by gosh, it finally didn't hold up. Because I was like, no, man, that ain't right. I know that ain't right, and finally, it didn't hold up. I'm loving it. Sorry to you, but I like being.
I didn't even come in second. I feel like the time theory completely busted.
All right. Well, Mr. MZ, congratulations to you. Applause. This is a great photo. So now this means you're on the clock, and you have to submit a new challenge for the community. If you need some assistance getting that challenge posted, just reach out to any of us here in this hangout. We're all moderators, and if we need to get this thing published for you, we will. But the sooner the better, so we can have more time to process these shots and get something posted for it. All right. Okay, so let's jump in to some different items of the night. Let me grab my other window. Earlier, I guess you can say in our pre-show, Mr. Knight was talking about those folks over in Cupertino, also known as Apple, decided to spend some more money since they're making so much money. They decided to spend some money. They went out and bought a camera tech company called Linx. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Linx. Mr. Knight, what can you discuss about this?
Well, in reading the article that I read and seeing what Linux was working on, they were working on miniaturizing multiple lenses within a camera, small enough to fit in your smartphone,
Wow.
which could lead to potentially optical zoom in a smaller package. That
That
is
would
one
be
of the
nice.
big things that your Apple devices, your Android devices, as far as taking pictures, actually is missing. I mean, imagine you being able to do a, say, 3x optical zoom instead of attaching, say, a macro lens or something to get close.
Hmm. Now,
That is
from
what that may be the next big thing. I mean, everybody's looking at the Apple Watch right now, but I believe that's a distraction.
yeah,
The next big development will be whatever they do with this. I don't know if it'll be in by the end of the year. It probably will be a couple of years because they're going to take their time to develop it. But if the iPhone gets multiple lenses or the ability to actually do a optical zoom instead of just a digital zoom, you're looking at a big leap there for such a small device.
Robert, I would, if you're probably gonna see it, it will probably be in the iPhone 7, which would be next year,
next
this
spring.
next fall, because this
Next
year
fall,
it's always
it'll either be 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about it that way
No,
because
no,
you have
no, no,
the
no, no,
S,
no,
you
no,
have your
no.
S
You have
increments
your
and
S
stuff.
instruments. So
Yeah.
you have to look at what they really did. The company, yeah, they worked on miniature lenses, but their lenses were known for improving low light photos and faster exposure in indoor conditions.
yeah,
Is kind of
and that's the
what
one
they were
weakness.
really good at. And if you look at any of the Apple devices, that's where they're lacking. They take beautiful photos outside. Bring your iPhone inside, you're not getting a good photo. It's
Yeah.
just
And I know because I wish I had a good
especially
picture. We
especially in
just
especially in any low light condition. Nope, use something
yeah,
else.
oh yeah, because I would have had a nice picture for everybody in the thing, but it's just too dark to see it.
Well,
We just
Robert,
had a tornado fly overhead.
jeez. Well, I'm glad you
It
still.
was we got power, but if you go down 3 or 4 blocks, it's black.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad you're still sitting there, Toto.
Yeah, it's if you want to look at the radar, it's gotten worse.
You Robert, you talked about potential optical zoom. Now, for folks that are watching this for the first time, can you explain to them the benefit of having optical zoom versus the digital zoom that we have on our cameras right now?
Okay, digital zoom really is a nice way to put it. It's fake zoom. it's,
Right.
it's basically software trying to act like an eye and
Mhm.
compensate. If you notice, whenever you use your zoom, if you do it really fast and it gets all pixely and blocky, looks like instead of 64-bit, looks like you're playing 8-bit Nintendo again.
Yep.
That's what happens with digital zoom. When you take it so far, the pixels it can't handle it anymore. It can't do anything. Digital zoom is maybe good for 1 or 2 steps, and beyond that, it falls on its face.
Yeah.
Even those 1 or 2 steps, depending upon what you're dealing with, because it really depends on the pixels. And what I found in most of my use cases is the higher the pixels, the little bit better it gets. But lower pixels, say if you got a 2 megapixel camera, forget about it.
Yeah, it's impossible. And
Optical zoom, on the other hand, actually is more like your eye. It can move. If you have a camera, a regular point and shoot camera, and you use the optical zoom, the lens moves outward because it's using multiple lenses in there to make the adjustment. And you don't lose that. You're able to focus, you're able to keep clarity, but you're able to get closer. Now, depending upon camera, there is, of course, a limit of how far you can go. Most of your point and shoots tend to be somewhere in that 3 to 5 neighborhood. You start moving up a little bit heavier duty point and shoot, you can get to the 10, and then the SLRs and everything else. Ooh, by God knows.
mhm.
Also, you have, when you're dealing with optical zoom, you see people with, like, at a sports event with these big telephoto lenses.
Yeah.
That's optical. That is not digital. So when you that guy sitting with that pole and he's sitting at the end zone hoping not to get run over, but wants to get that shot that you didn't see online or in the paper, and that photo is right there on the ball with the middle finger tucked on the end of the ball, that's optical. That's not digital.
Yeah. And as one of our other moderators would say emphatically, the best zoom is, the 2 feet that you walk around with every day. Because, there's going to be issues with trying to zoom in on a smartphone with that digital zoom and giving you all of those extra artifacts. But I believe he feels the same way with an optical zoom lens. If, when at all possible, move closer. But if you can't, work on your zoom.
Right. And, well, that would be the next big thing, because the first big thing's been the image stabilization in these smartphones, because they're unlike a point and shoot or even an SLR. It's easier to hold it steady than you can that little smartphone. So that was big. But now we can get digital, optical zoom. That will be even bigger. And it does help with the low light, because that's the one thing, like Michael said, the iPhone takes beautiful, bright, beautiful pictures in fairly bright light. You can go a little low, but it can't be, like inside a restaurant. Then you're running in trouble, and that's where I hope like to see them do is improve their low light.
All right, I got a pet peeve here.
Go ahead.
I'm tired of the low light conversation to a degree.
Okay. Why so, brother?
And the reason is because we weren't having this conversation before smartphones. Because people wasn't carrying around their little Kodak and trying to shoot a picture up in the club.
Yeah, but
right.
So it's like you go from having something that was a little bit heavier duty that was designed to take pictures in various kinds of light to something that has a lens that doesn't move, has a set aperture and everything, and you wanted to take a picture of your friend standing next to some dude bumping and grinding in low light and smoke, and you wanted to come out beautiful? This ain't TV. Come on, people. Let's be a little bit more real about this. It ain't gonna happen.
But see, the reason that is part of the conversation is because of marketing. People are going to make money off of the millions of people that are going to take shots in the club, the millions of people that are going to take shots inside of those concerts.
Man, every shot I see like that looks like the people belong on the Blue Man team.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to take those photos and they want to share those photos.
You got the flash on. You can be the whitest white guy or the blackest black guy, and you come out looking blue.
Yeah,
right.
This is true.
Well, of course, if you're Andy Anako, you have your big SLR when you go inside somewhere.
But see, Robert, the difference between you and everybody in here versus a lot of society, they don't understand the degradation that the flash can give to your shot. They don't understand it. They just know it's there. They know it's dark. They know they better use it because it's dark in here, kind of thing. So I mean, it's a market for it, dude. It unfortunately is a market for it. But hey, if I was running a business, I'm trying to go where the market is too and capitalize.
For me, it was more of an issue when you took a picture of monkey bars and they came out looking radioactive.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was trying to capture.
I remember that.
Low light, you got barely a 10-watt light bulb going on.
Yep, I remember that. I need to find that photo.
Well, even since this group's been going, the smartphone cameras have come a long way.
Yes, they have.
But we have to remember, it's not about the camera, it's about the operator.
This is true.
It's true.
Speaking of which, gentlemen, for your picking apart pleasure, I have uploaded photos from WrestleMania 31 into the group.
Oh, it only took him a month.
Oh my!
You know what? Tomorrow I embark on a weekend where there are 5 different shows I must attend.
Interesting.
So I'm traveling. It's that time of year. And
Attaboy.
we haven't watched wrestling. To be honest, we haven't watched wrestling since WrestleMania.
And so now I won't see any shots from you for another 2 months. Is that what you're saying?
No. Because now I'm going to be out and about in the world.
Oh,
I can
okay.
actually take photos now. I'm
Okay.
not in here all the time. I get to go outside. The next 6 months I'll be outside every weekend. So
Well, we appreciate you traveling, Porter. It's about time.
I know, man. But there they are for you guys to peek at later on, or you can critique them right now. There's a favorite one in there, and then there are lesser favorites. But
Hold on. Let me jump in here. Refresh my screen. Let's see if we can pick on this dude.
you pick up.
Here they are. There. Oh wow.
A
A lot of people, dude.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's a lot of people.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at this one. Hold on. We'll give him some love here for a second.
Or
Oh, you were there. I watched 5 minutes of that.
I was there.
He was up in there. Now, this is with an iPhone 4S.
4S, yeah.
All of these are 4S?
These are all 4S ones. Yeah.
All right. Now, did you try to use HDR on this particular shot here?
The two, that one and the fireworks one, are both HDR, and they were both edited in Snapseed because I gave it another college try. I don't like that editor.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. A lot of people don't realize how long these guys' entrances really are, and The Undertaker is my favorite wrestler. So I was able. There are two The Undertaker. There are two different. I had enough time to run across the stadium, so there are 2 different shots from 2 different angles during the same entrance, and I was able to get to both sides of that thing. It's incredibly easy to get around in Levi's Stadium if you know what you're doing.
Of course. That's pretty impressive, though.
But yeah, this was these were our we had 2 sets of seats. We had upper seats and lower seats. If you look in that section right there down by the ring, almost up center, down a little more, just down, a little more, right in there. Those are actually our seats in that section there.
Good grief, man.
That's where we sat, and then we had another setup that we lovingly sold to some friends that I ran up there during that time because I wanted to take in all that that moment had to offer me.
Of course.
So now I shot this in pano mode, which was incredibly hard because nobody wanted to stay still.
That's why I asked if you shot that in HDR because HDR shots are pretty freaking difficult to do in a sporting event.
Yeah. So what I had to do to get this shot is I had to put my phone on I brought my selfie stick and I brought a pair of jelly legs from Square Jellyfish, so it made it able for me to stand up the selfie stick, so I can stand it up, stay away so it's stable, and then snap the picture with the remote. That's the only reason why I was able to get this photo.
Holy moly, dude.
I could not hold my hand steady enough with the crowd moving in order to get a half decent shot. The same with the fireworks photo because so much was going on during those fireworks. There was just everyone screaming and okay, this is time to set the phone on a tripod and get this taken care of.
And the thing is, I can see, especially with this 4th shot here, I can see why you would want to shoot HDR because of the sunshine coming straight at your face.
And that's the problem in Levi Stadium. There is no shade.
Yeah.
You are outside. There's maybe 2 or 3 sections in the whole place that has shade. But if you're at a sporting event there, you prepare to bake.
Of course.
There's no fans about it. Just you're gonna bake.
It'll be all right. This is a sporting event. You're enjoying it anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But you are baking at that stadium. But this was just one of those ones where if you caught it, you caught it. If you don't, you don't. And we have a video from it also, of it from another angle when they were all going off, and just I think that for me to capture these, this is luck of the draw on these ones, honestly. This is a lot of I used a lot of burst mode also to capture some of them, which I use. What's that? I used a burst mode app, Super Burst, and it has an HDR feature, so you can get these. And that's part of the reason why it took so long to get a good one, because you gotta flip through each and every one of those bursts to get the right timing. But when you get it, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Well, so the burst mode that's built into your iOS, you don't like that?
I don't like that burst mode. It's not quick enough.
Interesting.
I think it's a little faster on the iPhone 6 Plus than it is on the older ones, but it's still.
On the 5S, it's not quite on the app. Super Burst does them all the way up to, I think it's 120 shots per second, and it's really good. You can do, at 720p you can do 120 shots per second.
Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah. So with that, there's no other way to get that, basically.
All right. Well, those are pretty daggum good. I give you that.
Yeah.
I give you that. You're pretty brave for shooting in HDR, but you gain my respect.
The problem is that you can't not, because of that sun.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the sun being in that spot, you can't do anything but shoot in HDR.
Now, you mentioned the wonderful mobile app Snapseed that you just don't care for.
The UI is much better now. I will preface it that I like the UI more. It's just there's a lot going on there, and I think if I locked myself down and said, okay, you cannot use any other editor, I would learn to like it. But because I have other options that do the same thing easier, I'm going to go with those other options. And because those same options are available I like Camera Plus. That's my go-to app for shooting. All those options are in there already. Why do I need Snapseed?
Well, I like Snapseed to begin with, and I just pulled it up. This is I'm sharing my screen from my tablet here, and I liked it in the previous version. And this version here, the UI is totally different. They went with more of a material design, I guess is what you call it. Well, I need to use my finger. So you click this to get all of your different menus and different options to pop up. I don't necessarily like that because it puts your image in the back. I like the old-fashioned way where it had all of these different widgets and so forth, over on the side where you can scroll through them and whatnot. They didn't remove a lot of things. The only thing that I noticed being removed was the grunge filter options. I don't see it on here anywhere. I don't see it on here, but they did add this one tool here called Brush right there. Click that. All right, and with Brush, you get a few more granular editing options here, like changing the exposure, and this comes in really handy if you have like a stylus. I have a stylus for my tablet, and I think using the stylus and being able to zoom in like that here, so the screen has a slight delay, and then I can make adjustments right there like that. Had I done that same thing, at a different aspect, it'd been a lot bigger, as you can see there.
Right.
That's like one of the few things that really got me excited about this application. I wish it had kept the same interface, but just being able to do little stuff like that, I totally dig it. There's some other things in here. I want to say they added highlights as well, and you can have these undo options to go back in case you screw up like I just did. There, so I went back to the original version there. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. All right, but let me go back here to the the standard stuff here. Tune image is what everybody seems to be used to inside of Snapseed. And so none of that has changed. You still get your options here at the bottom where you can scroll through them just by going up and down and so forth. And if you want to adjust them, you just scroll to the right or left to increase or decrease. But having, in addition to shadows, which was in the last option, you now have highlights. And so I'm going to try to adjust the highlight on this particular photo. So one would assume the first thing that's going to get adjusted is this right here, this right here. So if I turn it down, it's not quite as painful on the eyeball now. You know what I mean?
Oh, those trees are hurting.
But yeah, of course, it screwed up all of this back here in the back. But I like being able to do that. And again, this is, you can take it a little slow. I went all the way to the bottom of the measure, you know. But that's Snapseed. I know Tony Creason in the community, she hates it. She absolutely hates this new update. But for me, y'all, this thing it's been fine because I use it in conjunction with Lightroom Mobile. So I'll make some adjustments here, save it, and then just flip over to Lightroom Mobile and just get to work in that, save it, and then go back to Snapseed if I need to, save it, and then I'm done. I mean, that's been my workflow. It's not the perfect workflow, but it works, you know.
And that's exactly why I stopped using Snapseed, because Google broke my workflow.
Yeah.
And I only go back to it if I'm out and about and want to do a quick edit.
Yep.
I use Snapseed. But if I know I'm coming home and I can wait, I use Light Zone. And I'm also going to start playing around in Polar, which is in Chrome.
Yep. I have that up on my screen too because that recently updated as well.
When they broke the fact that Snapseed could save to the folder that you would edit, that you pulled the photo from, instead of saving back to that directory, it now goes in the Snapseed directory. That screwed my workflow. So
I know that. It took me a little while to get used to that too. And you mentioned Polar or Polar, however you pronounce it. They recently got an update as well. This is a Chrome app. You can just open it up in your Chrome web browser and go to the Chrome Web Store, and you can run it as an extension, or you can run it as a standalone Chrome app like I'm doing here.
You can do that on the Mac also. There's a Chrome app.
That's what I just
Chrome
said.
App on the Mac.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. It's a Chrome app.
Well, they have a Chrome app launcher now for iOS, where you just click it and it opens up, and it's like running a native app. I don't know.
Oh, so you guys finally got an app launcher.
We got
right now for the Mac, they have that same launcher for the Mac. That's how you run. Like I can run Hangouts in
run Hangouts. You run the screen share and things like that is all from App Launcher now.
Nice. I thought you guys already had that. My bad. Well, I've been running it. Go ahead, Michael.
Don't forget, on iOS, certain things are locked down until Apple says you can do it.
Yeah, understood. Because of all the different security and so forth. Yeah, sure. This I run it as a standalone application because when you run it in the web, it is slow. I mean, crazy slow. So just take my advice. Go ahead and install it as a Chrome app, not an extension, and you will get much better performance here. They changed the background of this interface. They went from version 2 to version 2.1. Performance of it has been a lot snappier when scrolling through and so forth. It's very similar to Lightroom, but it's free. And you can make all these different little adjustments like this here. If you want to try to make it
like free.
Oh, yeah.
Free's
with
always
no advertisements.
And no ads are on this thing, man. No ads, but
Yet.
it is very similar to Lightroom. Other than right here in Lightroom, you can adjust things through the histogram. I can't do that in this, but you still get graduated filters and all of that stuff, man. If I can figure out how to move it, there we go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna check that one out
You know, it is.
tomorrow.
It is.
Tomorrow, I'm not gonna do anything tonight because I just don't want to get too involved in case power goes out.
Electrocuted.
But yeah, that's Polar. You go to polar.co, I believe is the website. Polar.co, not polar.com. And that's spelled POLARR.co. Go grab that. It's a really, really nice photo editor that's free. And it's lightweight, doesn't take up a bunch of resources on your computer. And I use it most of the time on my Chromebook, because you guys know the Chrome OS is it's not a lot of guts to it. It's it's essentially a browser, but it works. I mean, I have a 1080p screen on that Chromebook, and I can sit down and edit photos, just like I would sitting here at my workstation. But anyway, what's that you sharing, Robert? Wait a minute.
I was getting ready for my goodbye.
Oh, there you go. All right. So, okay, let's go ahead and get ready to get out of here. I'm going to try to get this thing uploaded and posted for the community tonight. Let me allow you guys to sign off. We will start with my man in Tejas in the storm, Mr. Michael King. Where can the folks find your work on this worldwide internets?
Well, one, I can be found on Flickr at Michael King 4023. Same with Google Plus, Twitter, whatever. And then I can be also found at the Toyota Center Saturday night, where selfie sticks are banned.
Selfie sticks are banned in Levi Stadium also, but I got one in.
What is going on at the Levi Center, sir? I mean, not Levi Center, the Toyota Center.
It's the Rockets versus the Mavs in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, NBA playoffs. Okay, I might take a look at that eventually. Appreciate you joining us as always, man. Be safe down there in the storms.
Oh, it's we just got through. I can hear my satellite getting pounded with hail.
Jeez, man. Next up, my man, Michael Portis. Where can we find you and your work, brother?
You can find me online on your favorite social network at A Black and a Mac. I'm traveling. I'll be in Fresno to start off this week at Vintage Days. So Fresno State, if you guys are in the area, come by and say hi.
All right. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Next up, my man, Mr. Robert M. Knight.
Well, I wish you could find me right here in this little spot right here, chilling, enjoying the weather.
In the weeds?
In the weeds.
In the weeds on the beach. Hey, it's better where I am. Okay?
You don't want to be on the sand?
Hey, that's better than him where he is.
It's better than Mount Rock I'm on. It's better than Wyoming. I'll tell you that.
Hey, it's still cold up there.
It snowed up there, yeah. Well, they can keep that. But you can find me on 500 Pics. See the name right there. Just find me there. I'm back on Twitter.
All right.
Mainly Twitter is just kind of a outpouring kind of feed type thing. I do talk a little bit, but it's more or less very directed as far as talking with companies and that I have products with. So I am back on Twitter, and I'm going to stay this time. I promise.
Right. What's that Twitter handle? I can't see it. No Chiqueza there still, or what?
No. That account went bye-bye. It is Robert_M_Knight.
All right. Be sure to follow Mr. Knight, folks. Thank you for joining, brother. Appreciate you coming out, and it's good to see. And, man, that's me right there. That was me. They used to call me Terry Tate because I was a large, angry black man walking through the office.
So I fired my blog back up. I had kind of put it down while hanging out at Google Plus. Thought I was going to just move to Google Plus for good, but it has a purpose. And with some of the integrations and things that have come around now with Google Plus and with WordPress being able to integrate with each other. So I fired it back up, and I'm posting there every so often. My Tuesday Thought posts are going to be coming primarily from the blog, and they'll post to Google+. Shout out to Tony for helping me figure out why I couldn't post to public. She kind of gave me a hint, and I got down the right path. So posts now are, when they come in, when they filter in, they're public.
Excellent. Excellent.
And of course, you can find me on Google+. Smartphone Photographers is where you find me out publicly. I don't post a lot of my photos public because some of you people are dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But you will find me posting a lot of technology news, talking about technology, talking about just life in general.
Word.
And about, I've got certain hashtags I use. Probably one of the most popular ones is Service Desk Life.
Service Desk Life.
You'll get a good laugh out of that every so often.
I love it. Love it. Thank you, brother. It's always nice having you on here. Good to see you. It's been a little while. Right.
Oh, yeah, very busy. Twins in less than 30 days.
Oh, the countdown, folks. The countdown. All right. Lastly, you can find me here on Google+, of course. Just look for Ant Pruitt. And you can check out my little blog or musings at antpruitt.com, where you will find my latest photo that I am rather proud of, dadgummit, shot with my Nexus 6 out in Crowder's Mountain near the summit. Had a lot of fun up there. About died trying to climb that damn mountain, but it was fun. It was worth it. I'm just too heavy now, dude. But find me there at antpruitt.com, as well as you can go and check out a newdomain.net. I write for those guys. Been writing for them for a couple of years now, and I appreciate their support. When we were talking about Snapseed earlier, I have a written review over on a new domain. So just go to a newdomain.net or a newdomain.com. It both goes to the same spot. And just search for Ant Pruitt, and you will see all of my writing there. And this is a technology site, more like a geek culture site, but most of the things I write about are just commentary on latest tech news or something that just got my attention. Probably my most popular thing here recently is the Walter Scott discussion and how I had to explain that police officer killing Walter Scott, how I had to explain that to my children, So that was a hard thing to do, but the editors thought that I should put it out on the web, and so I did. But check me out there, and check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ant Pruitt. Be sure to hit like and subscribe on this video so you get this into your feed automatically every Thursday, as well as all of my other little musings and vlogs and things like that I record. We'll get together next week at about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. That's our target anyway. But we'll get together and we'll talk again about different tips and tricks and go over the challenge. And if you're interested in joining this community, just hit any of us up and request an invite. And we'll do a little background check on you to make sure you fit into our community, because our community is pretty tight. We're not about just showing off all of your favorite pictures. We're not about showing off your cat pictures, showing off your baby pictures. No, we want to see your shots, yes. But we want to know what went behind that shot. What was your thought process? How did you do that? How did you make it come this way? Why didn't you do it that way? Because we want to learn from one another when we do this thing. You know what I mean? And it's been fun doing this for the last 2 years now. I think it's been 2 years. I don't know. It's been a little while. But thank you, folks, for watching. Thank you to the folks that joined me tonight. And we will see you next week. Peace out, folks.